Welcome, folks, to the 20th Long Island, the 2020 Long Island Smart Growth Awards. We're doing it virtually. We normally have 900 people at the Crest Hollow, and we're here in the studio. We're in Tied In Media Studios. Myself, Eric Alexander, Director of Vision Long Island, and I'm here with Alyssa Kyle, our Sustainability Director, and Tawan Weber, our Assistant Director. Trudy Fitzsimmons also is on the call. She's our board chair, and we have a number of board members also with us, along with a lot of honorees, elected officials, and our sponsors on the Zoom. And then streaming, we've got a lot of our community partners and folks that wanted to get the stream and didn't have the time to get on the Zoom, but they're listening in, they're tuning in. So we're excited to do something a little different. I know we've all been going through a difficult time through this coronavirus on so many levels. We get negative news every day, economic loss, small businesses are hurting, there's public health pandemic that we're dealing with that are hurting folks, there's racial divisions that are really painful for everyone involved. And what we want to do today, and we always do with our awards, is show how Long Islanders work together on the local level. And they do it despite backgrounds, races, economics. We pull together in the local communities with environmentalists, labor folks, developers, civics chambers, all different levels. Folks come together and ideally approve projects and improvements in local communities. And that's what we're here to spotlight today. We took the show on the road. We actually, not just doing a virtual thing, we went out to 15 different locations, and we got one more to go. Actually, we're a little late. So we got these awards, we brought them to the site of the local folks, and they were great mini events. And so we're gonna kind of bring everyone together today and review that. So that's where we're going. So why don't I do some housekeeping first? I'm gonna pivot over to Tawan. If she's got something to say on housekeeping, I got some housekeeping too. Tawan Weber?
Good morning, everyone. Or afternoon. Thank you all for joining us. So just a reminder, as Eric had stated, we do have a lot of our folks that are in our live audience here with us on Zoom. I do have you guys all on mute, so just be aware of that, just so we can keep the sound quality great. We want to bring you a great show today. Also, we are streaming live on Vimeo, so if you're unable to stay with us today or you need to jump on later, you'll be able to see us and share with your friends. We thank you all again for coming, and just please remember, keep your phones on mute, so this way we can get the best sound quality. Thank you guys all again, and back to you, Eric.
That was great. So let's thank the folks that are supporting the smart growth movement through this pandemic. That's really important. Number one, First Equity Title. They're our platinum sponsor. Thank you. National Grid is our gold sponsor. Again, thank you. They've been with us many years. We have a number of silver sponsors: AT&T, Cameron Engineering, Concern for Independent Living, which actually has important projects in Hempstead to pay attention to, GPI, H2M Architects and Engineers, Engel Berman, and Steve Krieger's on the line in Long Beach. They just got a super block approved with community support. Credit to them. Heartland Town Square, Mill Creek Residential, PSEG Long Island, RXR, Southwest Airlines, Twilliger and Bartone, Third Street Associates, and VHB. So those are our sponsors on the platinum, gold, and silver level. We hear about the bronze level in a minute. Let's give those guys a hand for thanking for supporting us. Let's go back to you, Tawan. We got another big event that we're doing virtually in December.
Yes, so we have some exciting news. We know that COVID has affected a lot of people on their events. However, for us, we're going to keep things going. You guys know Vision. We stay flexible and we adjust with whatever is thrown at us. So the summit is still on. We're actually going to be doing a virtual program. Today is actually a perfect dry run for us with the awards, but we will be doing a 3-day summit program virtually. Registration will be opening soon. We're asking all you guys, you'll be able to see on our website, and we'll be sending out in the post-event blast for this, a chance for you guys to submit some panels. We know things have changed and we want to keep our ear to the ground so you guys can give us an update on who and what you think is important we should discuss at the summit. Those panel suggestions are due by October 9th, but we are looking forward to hearing from all of you and seeing all of you there virtually. And yeah, that's it. So make sure you guys sign up for the summit. Sponsorships are available. Feel free to contact us, and it's gonna be another great event, Vision style. Back to you, Eric.
Through the pandemic, folks are walking, biking. They've been out in local communities. You got to get out of the house. You just have to. It's made more of a focus on complete streets and our complete streets work. So over to Alyssa Kyle, who's focused on that.
Yeah, so over the summer, well, since our last awards, last summer we did a number of walk audits in communities around the island. We did Huntington Station, Glen Cove, Central Islip, and Hempstead. And this summer we did 2 more communities in Roosevelt and the Shinnecock Reservation. So we're putting together recommendations on how the walkability can be improved in all those areas. In addition, we had our Complete Streets Summit at the end of June. It was a 2-day virtual event. Day 1 focused on complete streets and public health, and day 2 focused on main streets for healthy businesses and communities.
Thank you, Alyssa. So we definitely care about a number of issues, as we always have, but we've kind of had to work differently than we had in the past. And I always joke, this pandemic helped us do our jobs better, get connected to local folks, and really certainly not take for granted the relationships of the really wonderful businesses, community leaders, local government that have pulled together through this pandemic. It's really been powerful. And with that, we had a Main Street Alliance that was active doing some basic lobbying. We met a couple times a year. And we really doubled down on our activity through this pandemic. 45 different communities have been represented by civics, chambers, mayors, and we would get on the phone every Tuesday and pull together resources. We'd do promotions for the folks that were open for takeout and other business services. We'd lobby together on New York State regulations. We would fight for federal funding. We did outreach for the PPP, also for minority outreach for minority small businesses. So we've been a really bit of a team, and a lot of folks are on this call. Not enough time today to shout out to them, but let's give a hand to everyone from the Main Street Alliance who's just been doing a great job. And most recently we had Kirsten Gillibrand, U.S. Senator, on the line, and she was very thoughtful and really working in a bipartisan fashion on a number of issues that we care about. Moving forward, we're going to be working on a lot of issues together as we go through the winter and a challenging recovery. But we need each other, and it's really the power of local is what we are thinking about here. So with that, definitely going to thank them, and they're really our ground game. They're the folks on the local community. You're only as good as the people around you, and we're honored to have them. Now, with that also, we want to acknowledge we have a number of elected officials that are either on the call, on the stream, or have participated in our local events. And we'll get to them right now. So just bear with me for a minute, because this is quite a few. On the federal level, Kristen Gillibrand's staff, Magda Campbell, Garrett Armwood from Schumer's staff, Kevin Devlin from Kathy Rice's staff, and they've been wonderful. On the New York State level, Teresa Santoro, Andrew Mulvey from the governor's staff, New York State Assemblywoman Michele Szilagyi, Assemblywoman Judy Griffin, Assemblywoman Taylor Darling, Assemblyman Ed Ra, who I see on the call here too, Senator Phil Boyle, and former Assemblywoman Michelle Schimmel. Nassau County, we're going to hear from Nassau County Exec Laura Kern in a bit, Nassau County Comptroller Jack Schneerman, Nassau Legislator Ellen Birnbaum, Legislator Deborah Muley, Legislator Rose Walker, Legislator Laura Schaefer, Legislator Carrie Szilagyi, and Presiding Officer Rich Nicolello. Suffolk County, Legislator Steve Flodderin, Legislator Tom Silmy, Presiding Officer Rob Calarco, and Legislator Kevin McCaffrey. Town of Hempstead, Supervisor Don Clavin, Senior Councilwoman Dorothy Gooseby, Councilman Bruce Blakeman, Councilman Chris Carini. Town of Oyster Bay, Supervisor Joe Saladino, Councilpersons Steve Labriola, Vicky Walsh, and Laura Meyer. Town of North Hempstead, Councilpersons Marian Delamonte and Veronica Lurvy. Town of Huntington, Supervisor Chad Lupinacci and Councilwoman Joan Sergel. Town of Islip, Supervisor Angie Carpenter and Councilman Jim O'Connor. Town of Smithtown, Supervisor Ed Werheim and Councilman Tom Lohman. Town of Riverhead, Councilwoman Jody Giglio. Also on the village level now, Westbury Mayor Peter Cavallero, Farmerdale Mayor Ralph Ekstrom, Port Jeff Mayor Margot Garant, Amityville Mayor Dennis Seary, Great Neck Plaza Mayor Gene Sellender, Hempstead Mayor Don Ryan, Seacliff Mayor Ed Lieberman, Lindenhurst Deputy Mayor RJ Renna, Lynbrook Mayor Alan Beach, former Greenport Mayor who's been really great ally Dave Capel, folks know for sure. Plandome Manor Mayor Barbara Dono, Long Beach Councilwoman Liz Treston, Glen Cove City Council persons Daniel Fugazi and Marcia Silverman, Northport Trustee Mercy Smith, from the Village of Great Neck Karen Green, and Trustee from the Village of Rosamond Sarah Arl. I'm sure we missed somebody, but we have elected officials in the House. They're in the movement, and I want to thank just about everyone on this list who did something special. They stood up for local zoning. 60 electeds gave us quotes and said, you know what, we need to preserve local zoning. There were a couple strange proposals to get rid of local zoning through the pandemic. We got past that. And I want to thank everybody. Let's thank everybody who stepped up and protected local communities. Okay. All right, so that's elected officials, but we're here in this studio. It's really kind of interesting place, this really cool place. And there's been a partner who's been just fantastic in delivering food and really doing corporate philanthropy. His name's Mike Cave. So Mike Cave, come on down.
How you doing?
How are
I'm gonna
you?
sit on this side of you.
Oh yeah, nice, nice.
Just in the beginning stages of setting us up.
Yeah, so what do you got going on? Just tell us about it.
Yeah, so during COVID, we had to pivot a little bit, and we decided to create a studio to highlight all the brands and help small businesses get back on their feet. So we're creating a network. We have it's a pretty cool space. This is a sneak peek, so we'll give you a whole rundown. But we have a performance area, conversational area. This is a news desk area. We'll have a green room, a show kitchen. So it's going to be pretty cool.
So tell us. So this is awesome, and I know you want to get. You're having us here, hosting us here, which is phenomenal. Thank you. And I know Pink Tide does so much through the years for local communities and the philanthropy you're doing. You guys pivoted a little bit. We've been walking through fire with you on local communities. What have you been doing?
Pat on the back to Eric and Vision Long Island for really helping us through this. We had to pivot to food insecurity. It's just unfortunately what's going on with COVID. It really became a big problem and need. So thank you so much for all the support. You've kind of ushered us through this journey we've been on. It's been amazing. But we started a doorstep donation program, which basically you could go to the website or text a number and leave a bag of groceries on your doorstep, and we would have a volunteer go and pick it up, and then we distribute it out to, we're up to almost 50 pantries on Long Island. Yeah, and then we have ShopRite, stepped up the Thompson Family ShopRites, 3 ShopRites across Long Island, Uniondale, Deer Park, and Riverhead. Allow us to collect food in the front on certain days, which the public has been super generous. I mean, it's been amazing. Yeah.
Wow. And I think the volunteers and even some of the staff for the organizations have just been fantastic in guiding us, helping people day in and day out.
Oh yeah,
it's been amazing. We've learned a lot from them.
The people we've come across are incredible human beings. It's just I didn't know about the food issues on Long Island until we stepped into this, and this was obviously a crisis mode. But this problem has always been around. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. So any help anyone can give would be much appreciated. We've also set up corporate drives. So if your business wants to participate and get your employees or your clients to be able to participate in a safe manner, again, there's no interaction. You can leave the bag of groceries on your doorstep, shelf-stable stuff, and we can come and pick it up. But we've done that with such people like Dime Bank has stepped up and been amazing donation-wide and also doing a drive. LIU, Long Island University, kids stepped up right away and helped us donate, and do the doorstep donations. We had Valley National Bank. Keller Williams has been amazing. Yep. The Keller Williams offices, so really, really appreciate them.
WSP,
National Grid, amazing. Borough Law Group. I mean, it's been tremendous, the outreach. So anyone who wants to get involved, please reach out to us, reach out to Eric, and we can really help make a difference.
Now we're doing it community by community, my friend.
That's it, step by step.
Cool. Thank you for the space and
yes,
getting the word out.
Yes, I like the logo. It's great, right?
And we need corporate philanthropy. We need folks to give back during this time. You guys are doing that. We're encouraging others, but
the best way to grow your business is give back to the local community. We have to support small. Think Small is going to be our new initiative where we're going to do a whole thing for small businesses. We're going to create a small business council, help these small businesses get reopened or pivot to a new venture. But definitely with the help of Vision Long Island and a lot of good groups on Long Island. So it's been awesome,
my friend.
Yes.
Thank you
so much.
Once again. Let's give a hand to my cave.
I'll move my chair as well.
All right. So great host, great space, and we look forward to more of it. So let's get rolling. So let's get into our awards. I know the county exec's going to join us in a few. And that's
So Eric, we have Laura Kern with us
we
now.
have Laura Kern. This is great because I'm getting texts from her staff saying she's not ready. I'm like, okay, she's ready. So this is great. So our county exec in Nassau County has been out there everywhere through coronavirus. She's here with us today. I'm excited. Laura.
Eric,
welcome.
It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for inviting me. So first of all, Eric, thank you for what you do. Thank you for your vision for Long Island, revitalizing our downtowns, more transit-oriented development, walkable downtowns. You've been pushing this and we're getting results, and I want to thank you for that and your downtowns and all of the recognitions, well deserved. Some really interesting projects. I see I'm just going to open my notes here. Westbury is one of them, very much well deserved. So just a few things. Number one, Hicksville, we're getting near the end of our complete street study, working with the Long Island Railroad, working with the town of Oyster Bay. That is a downtown with enormous potential, and I'm very excited about that. We're also very focused on doing what we can, and I was so touched by what the previous guy, I'm sorry that I didn't have his name, is doing when it comes to food insecurity. We are supporting our food pantries, Long Island, Cares, Island Harvest, and we're seeing thousands of people who never came to food banks before need help. So I just want to thank him for what he's doing and understanding that food insecurity is a real thing. And the fact that he's stepping up, getting donations, making sure people are fed, families are fed, I think is just God's work. So thank you. We also need to keep people working. So just this week, we see that in some other places there's no indoor dining. We do have indoor dining on Long Island. So we launched a campaign, Taste Nassau Today. So inviting people to come on over, whether you're from Greenwich, Connecticut or Greenwich Village, come on over and enjoy our indoor restaurants, indoor dining at 50% capacity. It's safe and it's keeping people working, which is really, really important. With COVID and all of the challenges, we wanted to help as much as possible. So at the beginning of this, when it was looking like outdoor dining was actually going to happen, we put something in place to streamline street closures. If your downtown's main street is a county road, we want to help you. Government isn't always known for being nimble, so we wanted to help you streamline that process and get it done. A lot of villages have taken advantage of that, and that's good news. So I think with COVID, we're finding a lot of people looking to leave New York City, looking to move here on Long Island. So the housing market's doing really well. I'm speaking to realtors about that. But more importantly than that, it gives us an opportunity to really focus on our downtowns, to really get them where I know they can be, Eric and his team has working to get them, working with stakeholders, working with these chambers, civic associations, getting people. Congratulations. I think you would be fabulous on TV. I think this is going to be your next calling. You're a natural.
No, we have to pivot, Laura. Right? We have to get out, do things differently than in the past. We can't gather people the way we want to, right? I mean, it's like virtual hugs all around. But no, glad to see all the work you're doing. Thank you for what you're doing. I think, pushing the outdoor dining, having your IDA, doing the promotion it's doing, and Richie Kessel's everywhere. And your team has been great. So, and our good friend Lionel Chitty in Minority Affairs has been out there hitting the drum.
Be nimble, but hey, we can do it. We can handle it.
Yeah. We're making the best of this. We're pulling together. Thank you for your time today. I know you got a million things to do, so I don't want to keep you. Might have lost her. Virtual world. Okay. All right. Let's everyone give a hand to the county exec, Laura Curran. So great to have her zoom in to us. And, it's good to have a friend in Nassau County who cares about our downtowns. And I know Steve Ballone does as well, too. He was obviously had a tighter window of time between things he wanted to be on here today. And we'll shout out to him. And John Kamen's been, their deputy's been with us regularly on our Main Street calls. So we've been connecting to those guys. All right, so we're a couple minutes behind. I knew this would happen because it's a crazy schedule trying to do this virtually, trying to make this all work. I'm going to toss this over to Tawan Weber. We have some more sponsors to thank, and then we're going to get going with our program.
Thanks, Eric. So as always, we want to thank everyone for participating with us today, for helping us today. And I apologize if I seem a little distracted. This is our new virtual world that we're working in. And so I have a lot of screens open, trying to keep all this going for you guys. But we just want to make sure that we thank our sponsors. We have been blessed as an organization to not really feel any loss of support during this time. And so we just want to say thank you to all of our sponsors, especially those on the bronze level, including Albanese and Albanese, Sir Tillman, Balin, Cronin and Cronin, DNF Development, Zucaro, Harris, Bloom and Archer, Caithness, St. Joseph's College, Forcelli, Deegan, Torano, the Gito Group, Greenview Properties, Trinity Solar, Ziskovich, Long Island Board of Realtors, Good Harvest, I apologize, Beechwood, Asset Enhancement Solutions, McBride, Harris Beach, People's United Bank, Jovia, Nassau IDA, Bola Engineering, PWGC, Long Island Business News, GRCH Architecture, Basilico, Jobco, Ruska Moscow Voltachek, SWC, L&M Development, Empower Solar, KOW Armor, Chartwell Hotels, Southern Lane Company, Local 200 Plumbers, Hofstra University, Conifer, Atlantic Rail, Herald Newspapers, WSP, Nice Bus, and anyone I apologize I may have forgotten. But thank you all again to our bronze sponsors and all of our sponsors for your support today. You guys have been awesome. You have been with us through this all, and we thank you. I look forward to seeing you again for the summit.
Thanks, Tawan. So, and we're going to get all this right in our post-event blast email that'll have all the video links, full write-ups, and information on the awards in the journal that we can get out to everybody. So thank you for your patience through this. I do want to acknowledge our board of directors. We have a whole slew of board members. I think we got 25 board members on this call. I want to shout out to them. Trudy Fitzsimmons is on the call. If she wants to jump in and say hello, that's totally cool. I see Trudy, or we'll just shout out to her. Hey, Trudy. That's great. Here she comes. All right.
Oh, I'm unmuted. Hello.
Hey, Trudy.
How you doing? This is excellent.
Okay. All right. All right, Trudy. we're going to carry on, and thank you for your support and all the board members. So let's get to the nominations process. So we have these Smart Growth Awards. They look great. We've been delivering them, designed by Alyssa Kyle here, actually. And they have a little coronavirus-friendly masks are on the people here on the main streets. So we give these out every year. They're different designs. And this year's crop of honorees are great. We had 45 total nominations. And we focused this year on things that are needed: affordability, mixed uses outside the downtowns, because we can't do everything in the downtown as far as creating a sense of place. So we focused on a couple new projects that might have been outside downtowns. And we focused on projects that were supported, planned with the public, or supported at the hearings by the public. Those were themes through the nomination process. So we're gonna power through. You're gonna get them one by one. And let's start in the Village of Westbury. Alyssa.
Sure. Village of Westbury had a fantastic project this year, rezoning, which you'll hear about just momentarily. And what stood out about this rezoning, made it award worthy, is that it was really designed and it's tailored to Westbury's unique conditions and unique neighborhoods, and as well as designed to complement and not compete with the business district on Post Avenue, and to really further enhance the village and work for the village as a whole. So I'm going to get the video going so you can hear a little bit about it.
He immediately said that the rezoning project for transit-oriented development down near the train station was really the most important. We took 52 acres of what you might call underutilized and in some cases dilapidated property near the train station, and we've rezoned it. It's meant to be a turnkey rezoning. It's meant to allow developers to come in, put together a project, consult with the village as to what is right for that particular piece of property, and then to streamline the process. It provides densities and other aspects that I think are generous in terms of allowing a proper balance between developers who need to make a return and the community that wants to redevelop land that really needs to be redeveloped. It's designed to bring new people into the community. It allows them a very short commute into New York City. It's designed to allow people who live in the community their whole lives to stay in the community, maybe with a different living arrangement or something that's more suitable for them as they age in place. It's also meant to feed our downtown, our businesses, our restaurants, and other services. Our intent is to make Westbury's downtown one of the most attractive downtowns in all of Long Island.
All right. Thank you. I just definitely want to acknowledge Peter Cavallero and his teams on the phone as well on the Zoom. Great work. So let's give a hand. Let's give a hand to the Village of Westbury for all their work. Very long process, and they're really ahead of the curve for this. So let's go to the next one. The Hampton Inn in Huntington, which is really led by George Tunis, developer George Tunis, who built hotels elsewhere, but not necessarily on Long Island. Only one he built in Hampton Inn, Comac. Looking at a downtown, it's got 70 restaurants. It's got, for now, it has Paramount Theater, and we hope all the restaurants in the theater stay together. It's a complementary use to get a hotel in the downtown, but also to build a hotel in this climate and also preserve an existing building. These are challenges, and they found a way to address them. So let's hear their video.
This is really a part of Huntington history right here. It's the old Huntington Town Hall where a lot of policy and decisions got made to really move our town forward. I'm a little biased in this, but I think I speak the truth when I say we have the best downtown area on Long Island or even the tri-state area. The complement of having a hotel to make sure that people from far and near can spend a few nights here and really invest back into the community is very important to us.
It will create jobs, improve our downtown, and make our town more beautiful than what it is already.
Not every historic building can become a museum. If you don't give it some economic viability, you're going to have a lot of historic buildings go fallow. Everyone agreed that this property that has probably sat dormant now for over a dozen years should be given new life. They agreed that it should be a hotel. But they also felt it was imperative, and they held our feet to the fire, that it should be something that should be stunningly beautiful. They were uncompromising on that point. And I love the words stunningly beautiful hotel in downtown Huntington. That's coming soon, folks.
All right, so let's give a hand to the town of Huntington and George Tunis from Chartwell Hotels for their leadership in getting this done. So great work. These projects aren't easy. Now let's get to one that has had a bit of a challenge too through the years, trying to plan, really get the community together in the village of Lynbrook. So this category is revitalizing communities. It's the cornerstone at Yorkshire. Terwilliger and Bartone and the village of Lynbrook together are being honored here. You know, you'll hear in the video in a minute, it's kind of an old no-tell motel that you probably don't want in your community. There's multiple housing types near it though, and walking distance from the train that all kind of set the stage for a really creative project with a lot of public support. Definitely have to acknowledge Terwilliger and Bartone, the village of Lynbrook, the Chamber of Commerce that really led the public support. Also H2M engineers and Fort Shelley attorneys, H2M engineers Mike Bonacasa and Fort Shelley engineers Judy Simonchik and team. So they definitely all together takes a team to pull these things together. So let's hear about this project.
We are now at the Capri site where we had a terrible experience with a motel here that caused a lot of police action. This project I consider a hat trick for the village. We got rid of a terrible drug-infested nuisance in our village.
We're very proud of the process here in Lynbrook in that we engaged the community before we put pen to paper, took all of their feedback, weaved it into a design, and then brought an application. So it was very welcoming once we hit the public hearing process. And I will say at several points during a public hearing, we were applauded. Imagine that, a developer being applauded in a public hearing. Cornerstone Lynbrook, it's a 80-unit, luxury, transit-oriented community. Lynbrook hasn't seen new multifamily in decades, and it has every ingredient you need, everything we're looking for. You have a beautiful downtown, train station, short commute to Manhattan, easily accessible. It's just terrific.
The business community as a whole is excited about it because we know that the residents that will draw are higher end residents. They're people who shop locally. They're people who will take advantage of all that Lynbrook has to offer. So we are definitely welcoming this project. We cannot wait for it to be open and occupied.
All right, let's give a hand to the village of Lynbrook. Anthony Bartone, Bartone Terwilliger. Great work, guys. All right, so let's, we took this tour out to the village of Port Jefferson. Tuan.
Hi, so I love that with this year's honorees that I get to present, that there's this sense of commitment to community. The honorees that I have this year have each been in the community long-standing, and that's no different with the Gito Group and the work of the village of Port Jefferson. They took a historic business that had lost their way and had gone, but everyone remembered, even myself as a child, and they are now making that a new place for new residents to come in and to be able to be a part of the Port Jeff community. And I love that the mayor said it best at the press conference, that this allows people to come in as a renter and get a taste of Port Jeff and then become long-term residents. And it's great. The Gito Group has been outstanding in their commitment to this community. They continue to invest in this community and work well with the village and the town of Brookhaven. So it's such an honor to see this project and to be able to be the announcer for it. And I don't need to say any more, the video speaks it all. So let's play the video.
We, the Brookhaven IDA, have been very supportive of these types of projects all throughout the town of Brookhaven. But we love when we can work very closely with our village mayors and their boards and their planning staff.
We want to make sure we always have a retail component to keep our Main Street vibrant and alive.
What did she approve? 44 units, 2,700 square feet of commercial. You got retail. There's a restaurant in here with takeout. It's a companion piece to what is a fantastic destination, Main Street.
We're going to extend the Main Street of Port Jefferson further south. We have the CVS building with apartments adjacent.
We are very proud from the Brookhaven IDA to help provide housing, create jobs, revitalize.
Always proud to stand next to the GITA organization and Robbie, because Robbie totally brings the vision that we need from that young generation that is looking for safe, affordable housing to enter into our community. They fall in love with our community, and then they buy in our community. And that helps bolster the values of properties everywhere.
All right. Let's give a hand to the Village of Port Jeff. Woo! And Gito Group, of course. Great project. All right, so now let's go back to, we're going back Nassau, Suffolk. Let's go back to Nassau County, downtown Hicksville. Alyssa.
Okay. We started working with the Hicksville community back in the beginning. I think it was January of 2010. We held our first public meeting. And back at that point, this building was already vacant. So it's been vacant for 10 years. It was built in the 20s, but the previous tenant had built a new facility further down Broadway. So this has always been kind of like at the heart of downtown Hicksville. It's right by the train station. It's right on Broadway. It's kind of a bit of a landmark in the area. So when a developer came in and finally found a way to take this building and make it viable and economic and bring some life into the heart of Hicksville, this is really the spearhead that's getting things moving in Hicksville. So it's a fantastic project. It's fully booked up. Can really help to spearhead other projects happening throughout Hicksville around the train station in the downtown. Thanks.
This building was a vacant office building, and we were able to convert it to 18 apartments and a shared WorkSmart office concept on the first floor.
This project has gone very well. Our apartments are fully occupied and our tenants are very happy. We do have a waiting list, so hopefully we can have more projects like this to serve and support the community.
When they see WorkSmart, when they see this incredible project at 35 Broadway in Hicksville, communities across Long Island and across the state will use this as the template. It meets all the criteria to create a renaissance in downtown Hicksville, a new mixed-use home near public transportation, near shopping, near some of the finest restaurants, entertainment, all that Long Island has to offer, you can find here in downtown Hicksville.
This is going to be one step forward in a major effort to increase the vibrancy and the appeal of downtown Hicksville.
That's awesome. Let's give a hand to Town of Oyster Bay, Gito Group, creative project, very excited, and more to come in Hicksville, and we're proud of that. Let's move us back to Suffolk County over Village of Lindenhurst. Tuan.
Hi, everyone. So I'm back. And just so you'll see, everyone who is familiar with Zoom, this is not for you, but for those of you who are new, since we can't applaud the honorees in person, we do have the little emojis in your reaction. You'll see me clap or give a thumbs up for different things, or your little emojis are there. So we do want to still keep it interactive and keep that spirit going. And speaking of spirit, I get the honor of introducing an award for revitalizing communities. And this is for an awesome community. The community in the village of Lindenhurst has been through so much. And I just remember seeing them during Sandy, and they didn't let what was happening to them break their spirits. Instead, they really coupled together, the community came together, the school district, and the village, and they really put forth their best effort, to make sure that they revitalized the community and stayed together and kept that sense of place. And they continued that since. And they've been able to do a walkability study that has really helped to just add to that resiliency in their community, but also just breathe new life into the character of the community. So I am so excited to present them with the award. Congratulations to the village, and thank you guys for all the work that you do, and as well as the partners in GPI that have been known for what they can do as far as pedestrian safety, roadway engineering, and just their support and dedication to communities as well. So congratulations to you guys. Let's see the video.
Our mayor, Mike Leverado, says, let's provide a plan and a blueprint for the village to move forward. And one of the first steps in achieving that was our walkability study.
Walkability is, in my view, a key component in revitalizing downtowns. Walkability is not a common thing on Long Island. We're car dominated. So we had to convince the community, get them on board. We did a lot of walk audits. We walked through the downtown, I think 6 times. We did events in this place here, mobility events. We held several public meetings.
It really brought all the members of the community out here engaged about safe areas, about dangerous areas where it wasn't well lit, about how we can improve safety of walking across the street, pedestrian safety, how we could create an environment where businesses not only can succeed, but where they can thrive, where people want to walk and shop in the downtown. We did implement one of the walkability study suggestions, which was to close off one of these sections of road here and to expand our Village Gazebo Park. We are ready to take Lindenhurst to the next level. We're ready to move it on to make it a landmark on Long Island, a place where people want to come, live, shop, and eat in our downtown.
All right, let's give him a hand. Village of Lindenhurst, great job. GPI getting that walkability study. We were out walking with them while they were doing it, and they got some new restaurants and new businesses down there. It's just great. It's great to see a community emerge. All right, so let's get to our next category. Now, this one was a shocker. I'm getting old, so let's be clear. You know, I'm getting old. I've been around a lot of decades. I've never seen in my lifetime the Village of Garden City approve or affordable housing. It's just not something that normally is talked about, let alone happens. The Southern Land Company stepped in and took this project forward, and it's been approved and definitely needs an honor. So let's hear about it.
.555 Stewart Avenue is a 4.65 acre parcel of property. It used to be the Roosevelt Field Airfield. We are planning to build 150 free market apartments with a 10% affordable component. That 10% affordable component is very affordable. It's broken up into 3 different sectors of AMI, of area median income, 40, 60, and 80% AMI. And actually there are 2 other units above that that are at 120% AMI, which is considered workforce housing. The project is split into 2 separate buildings, roughly about 235,000 square feet. The project would be about 4 stories, going down a level in parking. All the fit and finishes and all the units will be the same throughout the affordable and the free market rent units. They'll have stainless steel appliances, 10-foot ceilings, 8 doors. It's highly amenitized. The wonderful part of the affordable component is that it's really going to integrate the community. The Village of Garden City has been very, very wonderful in working with us in a timely fashion. We're going to create a really nice sense of community here for everybody.
All right, let's give a hand to Southern Land Company. That was Joe Rossi. Let's give him a hand for doing what was unthinkable, is getting some affordable housing and a creative multifamily project. And we hope to see more. So we made it all over Long Island. So Garden City, and then we made it all the way out to Greenport, right outside the village, with an affordable housing project. Tawan, you want to tell us about it?
Yes, so going to the far end of the island on the other side, we have a great project again, and I just saw him on here. I saw Alan from Conifer. So hey, Alan. But again, another community project where it's a developer that has been committed to the community in a special way with Conifer, because they have really focused on their affordable housing piece and really going into communities and neighborhoods that most developers wouldn't. And luckily for the relationships that we have at Vision, we are able to bring in Conifer, and Conifer has really kept us involved in the projects that they're doing. And with the town of Southold, they were able to have a great relationship to get things going in a project that the community loves. And so it's so deserving of its title of the Housing Choice Award. And I just want to say congratulations to them, to Conifer, and to the town of Southold, and to the residents. It's such an exciting project to see a dedication in an area that normally doesn't get much attention. So let's view the video for Vineyard View project.
Southold, we're proud to be here. We're proud to have found this site and worked collectively with the community to provide 50 more affordable apartments. The site is actually over 17 acres, of which 7.2 acres are developed on. We're surrounded by a lot of woods. The community is made up of 14 one-bedroom apartments, 22 two-bedroom apartments, and 25 three-bedroom apartments, all modern amenities. We have a playground, a community building designed to blend into the community well as a barn. Half of the units are affordable at 50% area median income. The other half are affordable at 60% area median income. Some very interesting architecture here. We aspired to really fit in well with the historic development context here in Greenport and Southold. We're just very proud and honored to have been able to work with the town of Southold to help provide more affordable housing options here on the island.
All right, let's give a hand to Greenport and town of Southold, actually, and Conifer Realty. They've done a great job. They've won multiple Smart Growth Awards, and we're really glad to see them build there. It's a beautiful project when we saw. So we can't get enough affordable housing on Long Island. We really need it. So towards that end, let's get to our next honoree, really the category of TOD, Transit-Oriented Development Zoning. Which brings us to the town of Hempstead, focused on the village of, Lawrence, the unincorporated area of Lawrence and Inwood, right by the train stations, 2 train stations. So we're looking at Bruce Blakeman, councilman in the town of Hempstead, who really took this project on his back and worked side by side with Cameron Engineering and their whole team that really put together a creative plan. If you know the communities, their train station areas, they're underutilized. And this plan creates incentives in the code with a lot of unique elements. So let's hear about it.
What we have here is a community that really was in need of rezoning, because you have a mishmash of industrial properties, commercial properties, residential properties, all lumped together. And at night, basically this became a ghost town.
The approach to zoning
was to create 3 distinct districts within the TOD. Mixed use immediately adjacent to the railroad station, up to 60 units to the acre. The zoning approach then transitioned down the spine of Lawrence Avenue in North Lawrence, as well as down the spine in Doughty Avenue in Inwood, to create what we would call a Main Street character, a neighborhood business overlay. Beyond the neighborhood business overlay, the initiative further transitions into the adjoining residential to introduce a new housing choice, the housing style of townhouses and row houses in a very walkable, safe environment. There'll be approximately 1,100 residential units created, 20% mandate of affordable housing at 60% AMI. There was wide support from the community for this initiative.
The town of Hempstead, they've also have enabled an expedited approval process that will show certainty and demonstrate certainty to developers.
We wanted to create a vibrant village, a middle-class village, a transportation-oriented district that was beautiful, environmentally sensitive, and one that was commercially viable.
All right. Let's give a hand to the town of Hempstead, Bruce Blakeman, and the Cameron Engineering team for really putting together what is a visionary plan. And we look forward to projects. We hear some projects are coming right away. So that's great news and what you want to see. Now let's move to a project that's built over time, multiple phases. It's in the mix of uses category, but it's not a traditional downtown one. It's in the community of Great River, which does have a train station, has existing office building, but then what happens around it? So this developer and the winner of this award, Greenview Properties and Larry Gargano, and the town of Islip worked together on multiple years and multiple phases of ultimately multiple projects to put together this mix of uses that is cohesive in a suburban context. 55 plus senior community, condo and single family units, multifamily apartments with non-age restriction, 1 and 2. A dog park, ball fields, and I mentioned that office space and walkable to the train. Planned well together, and the town of Islip, again, worked with this developer real well. He doesn't like promotions. So Larry Gargano gives his best. There's maybe a picture of him in the pictures you're going to see. And that's about it. But we're going to honor him for creativity and connectivity. And Larry, this project is for you. When you want the promotion, a picture, we'll get it to you. But he gives his regards and has been a supporter of the Smart Growth Movement for a long time. So let's give a hand to Larry Gargano, Greenview Properties, Westbrook Village in Great.
Yes, this is definitely a little different from our usual housing types of projects, but it's a great redevelopment within an existing neighborhood, and it helps to adapt neighborhoods to Long Island's changing needs. You'll see in the video what its former use was, but adding a new type of housing within an existing established single-family neighborhood and working with the community to address those concerns is what really makes this address their concerns so that it fits in comfortably. Really makes this a fantastic project. So congrats, and let's hear about it.
Sorry, guys. So it seems like the video is experiencing some sound issues, which, you know, is an annual event for Vision. So if you could restart in the video while we do that. And Alyssa, in the meantime, you can give us a new update or continue your update on the the project itself.
You're actually still muted.
I had this opportunity to
Here we
come
go.
in here and use this facility in a different way and still take care of the needs of the community. We thought it was just a fabulous opportunity.
This was a much revered bowling alley for many years. This will make a wonderful home for many of the folks that had spent a lot of time in the bowling alley as they come back and enjoy the new community.
The community is designed to support our senior residents to allow them to truly age in place. We'll have 103 residents total. We offer services such as restaurant-style dining, housekeeping, transportation, laundry services. We also have a separate memory care neighborhood.
In designing the community here, we spent a lot of time talking with our neighbors. They were very concerned about its height, that it be in conformance with the surrounding homes. And so it ended up as 2 stories. However, we were able to design a 3-story courtyard in the middle.
The concept of our community is to allow our residents to truly age in place so they can enjoy their golden years.
All right, let's give a hand for DNF Development and the town of Hempstead. This is great. Walking through there is really interesting, seeing kind of the transformation of the space, and also good to know the community really came together on this. The Levittown Chamber and others just did a great job. So unique project, glad to see it. All right, so we're gonna stay in Nassau County for a couple more. I should have told Laura that Nassau County got more awards this year than Suffolk. No disrespect, but they just did a great job. A lot of great projects. So let's get us out to Long Beach. I don't know how it's taken us so long to honor this project. These guys have been doing a great job for a long time. Tuan.
So even though I am Team Suffolk, there is a common theme as well as community leadership, but also as apparently my awards are all people I've known since Sandy. So it's great to be able to present this award for the community there over in Long Beach, for the MLK Center, and to James Hodge. You guys have done phenomenal work since 1982, long before Sandy, but I really got a chance to know the center during that time and the work that they were doing. And I remember that the spirit of Long Beach is always very strong, but I do remember that right after Sandy that summer, the kids were preparing to go back to school, and a lot of them still weren't even back home yet. But at the MLK Center, they were still giving out resources, they were still doing the food pantries, and they had this amazing back to school fair for the kids, just to keep spirits high and say, you know what, we're Long Beach strong and we're gonna keep going. And the kids all came out to the center and they gave out book bags and all kinds of things for them. And that's just one example of the things that they do. You know, here we are again, and no one was prepared for COVID, but they have been able to adapt in every way possible to continue to support that community and the ones around them. They're the first thing you think of when you want to call on for help for those in need, and they've been such a great resource. So again, congratulations to you guys. The team there actually so much represents the name on the building. Congratulations to the MLK Center. You guys, bravo for all you do. Let's do the video.
This is a organization where we look at things holistically and try to meet the needs of the community as we do need assessments. And so when natural disasters or emergencies happen, we kind of shift from the day-to-day things that we do, maybe tutorial and after school and educational and recreational and healthy living. And we try to look at what is the emergency need during that particular situation. So for Sandy, it was toiletries, it was food, it was clothing. During this pandemic, food insecurity grew drastically. And so we started feeding hundreds of people, and not just feeding people, but giving them certain types of healthy food because of underlying issues that runs rampant within this community. So we wanted to do more things that could help build the immune system up. Like Martin Luther King said, life begins to end the day we become silent about things that matter. The mission, the life was ended 4468, but the dream lives on in each and every one of us. And we will continue doing what we can to make that dream a reality through all of the lives that we touch.
All right, let's give a hand to the Martin Luther King Community Center, their board, their staff, the community members who do just a phenomenal job. We've had a chance to be out there a couple times through this pandemic, and they're working around the clock. So that's a special one, definitely this year. So thank you to that for your work. All right, let's bring this, we're still in Nassau County. Alyssa, take us to some traffic calming and some good stuff up in Seacliff.
Yeah, Seacliff has gotten one of our walkability awards, and Seacliff is really taking walkability to the next level. They're really working on making a village that the streets are places for people, not just cars, and it's really designed to be enjoyed walking at 3 miles an hour, not driving through at 30. Really paying attention to the details and doing a job to kind of be at the forefront of making places that are truly enjoyable and safe and comfortable to walk in.
Incorporated in 1883. It was a walking town back then. We still have a group of residents that look forward to every day to do their walks. So 3 years ago when I became mayor, I believed it was very important that we had a traffic and safety committee.
We have a lot of different committees that are making the streets walkable and beautiful. We have, of course, our traffic and safety committee, which has gotten help to get grants. We have our tree preservation commission. Shade is really important to walkability. We have our beautification committee, which has made our parks gorgeous with the flowers and the plantings. And of course, our landmarks preservation commission, which has marked out all of our walkways, paths, and steps.
We have 2 beaches that are both walkable. In fact, our village is 1 square mile, so everything in this village is walkable. So the concept in the village is to get people out of their cars. And when we talk about building permits and things like that, we don't want to be concerned about parking spaces. We want bike racks. So the sidewalks are large enough and safe enough to access, well-paved roads, plenty of curb line, and we can have a place that we can model around Long Island and say this is one of the best bikeable and walkable villages in Nassau County.
Let's give a hand to those guys. Village of Seacliff, they take it seriously. I mean, it's no joke. They're walking, they're biking. It's really a quaint village. We visited them in a rainstorm, but there were still the folks out there biking and walking. It was wild. So no, good to see that good work. And we're going to need more of these types of things. I see Gene Cylinder on the line from Great Neck Plaza, led the way on traffic calming forever. Seacliff's doing great work too. So good job to them. All right, so let's get to this next one. Now we're moving into our regional. Let's zoom out of the local communities. And again, the local communities with all together, all the honorees, it's 25 different projects all told, because some of these folks we're honoring have done multiple projects. And in six different towns and 10 different villages. So a lot of municipal work, a lot of bottom-up community work, but we got to now talk about the regional level work. And we've been struggling with corporate philanthropy. There's been a lack of corporate philanthropy through the pandemic, through the coronavirus shutdown. You have restaurants hurting, and that set the stage for these folks to step in. And we didn't know who they were. The Sidgmore Foundation stepped up, created a program called Split the Bill, which for folks may know, we got them to Farmingdale, Valley Stream, Westbury, and Hempstead, and they just are been helping these small businesses. They're fantastic folks, dynamic duo of folks that you hear about in this video. So let's get to them.
We're incentivizing people to patronize their local restaurants.
So we'll reimburse customers for 50% of their restaurant receipt.
We know that people are being severely impacted by this pandemic. And the people that were going to feel it the most were the ones in the, that were in the middle classes, the people that the main streets were the ones that were just going to be the ones to just crumble first because nobody was able to go out. And our goal was, how do we figure out a way to drive business to these areas, give people an awareness that this is the areas that need support, and to help the community that is part of those main streets. We really saw this as a program that could be brought out to cities all over. What scared the heck out of us was that because of this pandemic and the fact that restaurants had to shut down, there are going to be restaurants that won't make it out of this. And it's not just the restaurant owner, it's the entire staff at a restaurant. It reverberates throughout the community.
The phones were ringing off the hook and our deliveries were absolutely astonishing. So we really do appreciate it.
They brought $20,000 in a business into downtown Farmingdale in just 2 days, 48 hours. And I'm glad you were able to take it on the road and go to other villages and other downtowns.
It would be nice if we can find other people to join us to provide dollars to help these small independent restaurants that may not have access to the government assistance while we try to get through these many months and hopefully not much longer of this pandemic.
This was fun. People were standing in line to go get their meals, and I think a sense of community, even if it was with a mask. We hope to promote that too.
Let's give a hand to these guys. Jeff and Jessica Gelbwax and Randy Sidgemore. It's actually dynamic trio. They've been wonderful. They put dollars out, and we can keep this project going. They need matching funds or some funding, but we want to get this in other areas in Nassau County, maybe even get it over to Suffolk County. They're getting requests to take this project across the country. Let's keep it on Long Island. So again, congratulations. Let's go to our community leadership honorees, a very special gentleman who we've gotten to know. Tawan, tell us about what's next.
So again, like I said, so much of what I've been able to present today is just long-term relationships. And this next award is especially important to me because this is one of my mentors. This is someone when Sandy hit, and I remember him being out in Shirley Mastic area with us, and we were trekking through homes that were just completely ravaged by the storm. And people were really feeling a sense of despair. And he would come in and just lift us all up. The days that the volunteers were tired, the days that people were tired. Pastor Charles Roberts, his spirit, his smile, his glow, his soft-spoken words really gave us the energy to keep going. And he's done that in Suffolk and even in Nassau. The Salvation Army has been key in so many areas. And we look at the work that they do, it's just no words to describe how great they've been to communities. And he is the embodiment of their mission. He has been around for a very long time and dedicated himself and his family as well to just working with people and helping in any way they can. And so this award is just a small token of a way of expressing the thanks on behalf of Long Island, honestly, for all the work that he's done. It should be known as a Lifetime Achievement Award for him, but I'm not gonna give him that credit yet because he's not done. We're still gonna call him, we're still gonna bother him because he really is leadership in action. He, in his faith, is the living word in action. And he's there for everyone, no matter who you are or when you call him, he's there. And he brings the resources to the table. He developed relationships and the long-term, long-standing relationships. That he's just such an example of who to be and a great person and what we need in today's times and challenges. So thank you so much for everything you do, Pastor Roberts. And we send our congrats along with Pastor Roger from Genesis Church and everyone here at Vision Long Island. Congratulations again to you and the Salvation Army for all that you do. Let's watch the video.
Regionally, we provide resources, human, intellectual capacity resources for the island. And also locally, we have a wide variety of programs, social work programs, nutrition programs. We partner with different agencies like the Alzheimer's Association, like Family and Children's, to provide resources for community members to grow. The approach to community work, knowing you don't have all the resources to meet all the needs, but you have love, and you have hope, and you have compassion, and you have listening. And then you have an opportunity to network with like-minded organizations, because when we link together, all the boats in the water are lifted.
This gentleman has such a heart for community development, which is really what we need in this community.
I'm proud to say that with our doorstep program, he was one of 25 recipients that was able to get food donations because of the food pantry that he operates. We just wanted to support his efforts in providing food, especially what's going on with the coronavirus.
He blazes the trail throughout the Hempstead community, not just on the platform of going and into the community and meeting everybody and helping however he can.
His impact on our village has been spectacular. He is well loved and is going to be deeply missed.
Whenever I need him, I can call him. And when he comes, he knows what I need and he takes care of it. This man is one that I really hate to lose. For all of those people who have received so much joy from Captain Roberts.
My first connection with Charles, I would get a package in the mail, I'd get an email, I'd get a call with different ideas, different programs he's working on. I'm like, who is this gentleman at the Salvation Army who's interested in revitalization, who's connected to youth, who's connected to seniors, who's not just thinking about hunger, he's thinking about housing. He's doing things in the community in a creative manner. Charles is the type of person who has a personal follow-through to connect to people. He just has that spirit, and he lifts up other spirits. Get a hand to Charles Roberts. He's just a special gentleman. And again, Community Leadership Award. We've only given out so many of these through the years to some really special people. He's certainly one of them, and he's lifting us all up through this coronavirus. So Charles, shout out to you. He works now out of Syracuse, but he's still with us on Long Island and supporting us. So I see you there, my friend. Thumbs up, thumbs up. All right, so let's get us to our last regional award. And this is an interesting one. When we first started, it's no secret, the development community didn't want to change their model. They wanted to build big box stores, malls, residential subdivisions with gates. And I'd say some members of the development community early on were a little joyfully hostile to the concept of mixed use and having to create walkable communities and assemble properties. It's really complicated to do this work. And then get the community folks on board, which back in the day, it was environmentalist versus developer. It was war. Folks didn't want to work together. They didn't want to do charrettes and visionings and all this. So we came on the scene and we're really pushing a third way. Development community slowly came along. They were doing some different individual one-off projects. This gentleman stepped forward and I'll just say became a leader quickly. He was the first developer to advocate within developer circles for placemaking and public engagement. And we hadn't seen that before, and he's carried that spirit for it and those principles with him through about a dozen years of doing this work. He's worked in Hempstead, Glen Cove, Riverside, out in Southampton, and also Huntington Station. There's some built projects emerging in Huntington Station. Obviously, Glen Cove's under construction. We partnered on that with RXR. His name is Don Monte from Renaissance Downtown. He's been a friend of our organization for a long time. He really deserves this award for regional leadership. He's taken these principles on his back and carried us up at the mountain, and he's done a lot of great work. So let's hear more from him as to what his journey's been like.
I'm extremely honored to be the recipient of this award. I started my career purchasing surplus schools many, many years ago. And in doing so, I purchased 14 closed public schools. And if anyone wants to know the definition of community emotion, then try being involved as a developer with a closed school. What I said to the community was, look, if not me, someone else. I did not make the decision to sell the school. And I said, what you get with me is you get me from day one in whatever takes place. And that resulted in me being 14 for 14 in rezonings for school properties. But I did it the old-fashioned way. I did it with knocking on doors and wearing out shoes. I had an epiphany one day, and that epiphany ended up in the formation of Renaissance Downtowns in 2008. And my commitment to triple bottom line development, social, environmental, and economic responsible development is now part of my DNA. In the end, it all comes down to one thing. Enter early with the community. Don't bring them in when it's too late, when the opposition forms because you didn't tell them what you were thinking of doing. They need to be part of the authorship of what happens. And when you do that, you end up getting as much, if not more, than what you originally asked for. And the reason is most people are reasonable. Community input, reach out early, do good, and you will do well.
Let's give a hand to Don Monte for that. I think there's some really wise words. Reach out to the community. And the spirit too, that most people are reasonable. Why do we tune in to the extreme voices or the loudest voices or the conflict, the fight, right? There are large swaths of people we've learned that are reasonable and want to work together. And Don, you found a way to tap into that spirit, and we're happy about that. We've always been working in that regard too. So in that say, we're walking through this, up this mountain together. So let's give one more hand to Don Monte, regional leadership. It was not easy to go through what he's doing through. He's got more to do. So we're excited. Some projects are moving forward in Hempstead and elsewhere. And as I said, under construction in Huntington Station. So with that, let's give a hand to all the Smart Growth Award honorees. We got a lot of them. 45 nominations, and we picked the top 16, and that always means there's 30 grumpy people that are out there that aren't on this call. But not everyone can win a trophy, folks. The folks here did a great job, and we're looking forward to working with them moving forward. I'm going to turn it over to Tawan, and I'm going to close out. Tawan, do you have any some final thoughts before we jump?
Yeah, so I want to just say thank you to everyone. I know that this is a very new experience, and we didn't get to hug each other all in the room. So I'm sending air hugs, COVID-free, so that we can all just make sure we see each other again soon. But this is great seeing so many of you faces with us, and for you guys to stay on. We know that that was a commitment, but it's, we couldn't go without recognizing the work that people are doing, especially now. We know it's so much more of a sacrifice for people to be doing that now. So we are so grateful. We apologize in advance for anyone we forgot, any of the technical issues. I know some of you that are viewing the live stream, it's been cutting in and out, and we're gonna work on that and repost for you guys later. But thank you guys all again for your patience with us, especially our sponsors and honorees, as we had to change up the system. But we're going forward. We're still gonna keep doing this. Next year, we're still gonna keep recognizing folks. I'm excited to be even more on a level where we can recognize so many more of you who are doing the work right now with food insecurities, financial challenges, helping business to keep going. There's so many people that were deserving today. Again, we mentioned Split the Bill, and I put the Pink Tide, their Pink Tide program for their food pantries in the chat. So please make sure you guys support them and help them out. Again, the summit is coming. We're going to be here. We're going to do this. It's going to be great. I promise. So the save the date is for the summit is also in the chat. Again, those panel requests, and ideas are due by October 9th. We do want to make sure we have a tight schedule and have the time to really prep for that. So get those in as soon as possible. And again, to our community leaders, our businesses, we didn't get to bring you guys up on the stage today, but don't think in any way we forgot about you guys. We don't, because everything we do and all the work that we do and the awards we were even able to present today come from the work that you guys do every day. Today is just one award ceremony, but every day we recognize, respect, and appreciate the work that you do to help Long Island keep growing and going. So we're still here. We're still on our We're Open page. We're still on our vision page. We're gonna keep doing these live meetings. Our Main Street Alliance, you see the logo behind me. Just so much. We're really just so blessed by all of you guys being with us, staying with us through this program. And thank you all to our honorees. Congratulations. We bow our heads to you for all the work that you do. So grateful. Thank you for your patience again. And yeah, I think that's my speech. So Eric, back to you.
Thanks, Tawan. That was great. And thank Alyssa, and thank our board, and our honorees, and elected officials that are on today, and our community partners with our Main Street Alliance. Thank you all. We had about over 100 on the Zoom, and we had a few hundred streamed out there. So we got to some of the folks we normally do, not everybody. When we get the e-blast out, let's get it out far and wide. We'll fix the technical glitches and other things, and it'll be a good, and our awards journal is also being created too. So a couple final things. Tawan mentioned the summit. We do want input on speakers and panels because we're gonna shape this together. We need the best ideas for economic recovery for our downtowns. That e-blast is going out soon, so watch for that. So that's our summit. Our Main Street Alliance is going to continue. We need to think about regulatory relief and some ways to loosen restrictions to help our Main Street businesses right now. Indoor dining, some other things that they need our help, and we have to shop local. We got to patronize our local businesses. And then lastly, we have this, I guess today was our first Long Island Main Street News program. We have this access to the studio through our friends at Pink Tie. We are going to be launching a Long Island Main Street News show. You've been getting our emails for a lot of years. You can get them on our website and our Facebook page also. But I think we're going to put together a show. There's a lot of people on this Zoom that we'd love to interview. When we're out in communities, we want to get kind of video interviews and little snippets and put them together. I got a shout out to Rob Conforto on the other end of the camera from Video Masters, who's been putting all this together for us. You see him in communities with us, and he's doing a great job. So we're gonna try to do this virtual stuff and make it work, all right? So with that, let's sign off. Shop local, guys, support our downtowns, support the honorees. One final clap for everybody. And thank Pink Tie also and their good work. Thank you, guys.